The Nissan Murano falls behind the brand's compact Trogan 3-row Pathfinder in the sales pecking order, but it is nevertheless hugely important and arguably the most familiar to consumers. The model also has a history of debuting bold styling languages for Nissan. Witness the 2003 and 2009 editions, and the look of this new for 2015 version already has spread to the 2016 Maxima. Given that tone-setting role, not to mention its practicality, the latest Murano was a strong candidate for a 40,000-mile long-term test, and so we ordered one. A crossover is no one's idea of exciting, so we tend to make our time with them a bit easier by loading them up with goodies. Here, we went full goodies and spec'd the top off the line, $41,485 AWD Platinum. That isn't cheap, but it comes standard with leather, heated seats front and rear, a heated steering wheel and outside mirrors, dual-zone automatic climate control, and remote start. It was a long winter, so forgive us for first focusing on those bits. The front seats are ventilated, too, and they feature Nissan's zero-gravity design, which reportedly was inspired by the way A-dressed astronauts' bodies are positioned while experiencing weightlessness. It sounds gimmicky, because space! But the chairs are indeed very comfortable. The reclining rear seats are also zero-gravity, and they are quite spacious. Our Murano also has proximity entry and start, a power liftgate, and a heap of LED exterior lighting. On the entertainment front, the Murano Platinum has a Bose stereo with 9 speakers and 2 subwoofers. Its sound quality hasn't particularly impressed yet. An array of actual knobs, buttons, and dials makes audio adjustments blessedly easy, and an 8-inch dashboard touchscreen is the interface for the standard navigation system, various mobile apps, and Bluetooth phone integration. There are also USB ports and 12-volt power outlets aplenty, which is great because we love plugging things into other things. We selected only one factory option, the $2,260 technology package. It adds 3 driver assistance components, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, and forward emergency braking, that can be managed via the higher screen in the instrument cluster. The tech package also includes a huge power sunroof through which we've been able to observe mostly angry, grey clouds. So far, logbook commenters are digging the Pacific Sunset exterior paint and the lush brown leather, as well as the Murano's smooth ride quality, spaciousness, and aforementioned seats. Negative comments center on steering that can sometimes feel rubbery even if it is nicely weighted, glare from the bowl-like rear edge of the hood, and some imprecise interior fits. There's only one engine and transmission available in the new Murano, a 260 horsepower 3.5-litre V6 and a CVT. Notable results from our initial follow to the test track: 7.3 seconds to 60 miles per hour, 18.7 ticks to 100, and 15.6 to complete the quarter mile at 92 miles per hour. Spacious and packed with luxe gear, the Murano no doubt has many long road trips in its future, and it's already proving a popular respite for the daily slog. Although it's way too early to call our Murano an orange crush, our test has started off on the right foot. Now we have to see how the remaining 37,000 miles go. What we like: this past summer, we liked loading the Murano with people and stuff and taking it on long weekend excursions. Ride quality is good, and the interior is easily quiet enough for young children to nap. The rear seat has plenty of room for young and old alike, and there's lots of cargo room in back. The front seats are particularly comfortable for hauls long and short, and it's easy to find a good driving position, although some drivers would welcome more thigh support. Pleasing ergonomics, a sensible layout of the controls, and logical display screens minimize driving distraction. The chocolate brown upholstery and tasteful silvery wood grain trim lend an upscale ambience to the cabin. Well-paved adaptive cruise control, which will bring the vehicle to a complete stop, helps minimize the stress of summer weekend traffic jams on Michigan's I-75. A fuel range of 400+ miles is also a boon. What we don't like, the continuously variable automatic transmission, has come in for a lot of criticism. One editor noted that the Murano makes a beeline for the lowest possible engine speed. Every time you give it the boot, it moans and bellows its way up to 4,000 revolutions per minute, sounding like a distressed cow in dire need of milking. Another driver described the powertrain as unpleasant, but features editor Jeff Sabatini opined that the CVT is offensive only when you're driving the Murano in a sporting manner, which buyers are unlikely to do often, if at all. Murano customers are perhaps more likely to be bothered by the high load floor in the cargo area, as well as the somewhat shallow door pockets and the smallish cubbies for stowing road trip paraphernalia. What went wrong? Not a thing. The only times the Murano has seen a wrench so far is during its scheduled maintenance visits, which come every 5,000 miles. The first service cost $59.59 and was comprised of an oil and filter change, a tire rotation, and an inspection. The second maintenance checkup was identical but cost 34 cents less, thanks to a drop in the price of the oil filter. Added to the piggy bank. Where we went, aside from a handful of commutes to northern Ohio, the Murano hasn't left the state of Michigan. But it tracked up thousands of miles going back and forth a total of 9 times to various locations in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, up north as we like to call it, from our home base in Ann Arbor. The Murano visited family cottages, summer camps, resort towns, and even Lake Michigan's Beaver Island, which is a 32-mile ferry ride from the mainland. What we like, even after 3 seasons and nearly 25,000 miles, we consistently marvel at our long-term Murano's stretch-out spaciousness, all-day comfort, and cost-friendly cargo hold. 3-row crossovers have their benefits, but for those who don't need the extra seats, the Toro Murano is extremely well packaged. And not many of those larger crossovers can yield the kind of fuel mileage we've been getting in the Nissan. Our observed mileage climbed by 1 mile per gallon since our last update, to 23 miles per gallon. These aren't the only factors that have helped us keep the odometer turning constantly. The ergonomics are easy to master, and the around-view monitor system of cameras produces a bird's-eye view that makes parking simple. Also, while winter was slow to reach the Midwest, we've been taking full advantage of the Murano's remote start, heated steering wheel, and heated front and outboard rear seats. What we don't like, unless you're contemplating the Murano's exterior styling, it is perhaps the least interesting vehicle in our current long-term fleet. After driving the Murano 1,400 miles to Minnesota and back, contributor Tony Swan offered a new word summary of the Nissan: boring. That wasn't his only criticism, however. He, like other drivers, complained about the vague steering, excessive body roll, and slow chassis responses when cornering. And several people have ranted about the glove box. Yes, that's right, the glove box. The problem is that it's ridiculously deep, so much so that it makes extracting our fuel logbook an uncommonly difficult task. Colorful comments include, if the glove box had an access panel, you could probably check the engine oil without exiting the car, and the glove box makes me feel like I'm spelunking. This is fine for day-to-day storage, but it's not so good for day-to-day use. We're not any happier with the continuously variable automatic transmission than we were previously. After his Minnesota escapade, Swan commented, in ordinary freeway cruising, the CVT's function is okay, but any time the driver tries to summon a big helping of power, there's that annoying race between engine and transmission. This is a major factor toward our lack of daily enthusiasm for the orange Nissan. On the weekends, though, the Murano shines. See where we went. What went wrong? Still nothing. Since our last update, the Murano has visited the service bay twice for routine maintenance. The 15,000 mile service cost was a little more expensive, $111, because the cabin air filter was replaced, but the 20k service came in right around the $60 mark, as did the 2 previous checkups. By the way, because we hail from the Midwest and believe strongly in the benefits of winter tires, we installed a set of Yokohama Jolla and RITG 072 ice and snow tires, which has helped the Nissan slosh through what winter has challenged us with so far. Where we went, the Murano hasn't seen the parking lot of our home office in Ann Arbor, Michigan, very often in recent months. Besides the trip to Minnesota, it went to Richmond, Virginia, to coastal Wisconsin, and also back to northern Michigan, the 10th time it has been up north, and almost certainly not the last.